Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me.
No stopping us here and declare your independence of me, Ernest Hancock, each and every day on the LRN.FM network from Phoenix, Arizona, where it's beautiful here on the Freedom's Phoenix Farm. That's right. We got our goats yesterday. 3 goats. You know, they were cheaper than a lawnmower. You know, I'm like, yeah, I vote getting more goats. I think we're going to do that. You know, they're gnawing away, but I think I need more. So we're preparing for the apocalypse. And who's going to bring it about? Is it going to be God, or is it going to be Obama? Or government. I mean, he's just representative du jour. You take him out, it's just a long train track of a whole bunch behind him. And the thing is that now we are going against another Muslim country. Is it, and who's back there? What culture is it that's going, yay, let's go get them. Go get them. They're not Christian. Is there enough of that? Have we locked, we got this Christian Zionist thing going on to where, and that's a big effort, man. They got to equate, the Jewish faith along with the Christian faith. It's all kind of the same thing. It's us versus them. Israel's the 51st state of. You think religion doesn't affect your daily life. It does, which is fine. It may very well affect it in a positive way. But that is not to be supported or argued in law. It is not. That was one of the basis, one of the biggest admonitions. That's why it's part of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Bill, you know what? You don't want to have another Revolutionary War? As soon as we just got done with this one, you created this central plan, this government thing. Guess what? If you do not have the separation of the church and whatever government you got, we know what happened. Seen it happen in Europe. We left that. Heck, that was the reason why we left. So I'm going, I see it. I see it rearing its head, and I'm glad they're doing this. Dick Morris is here helping us understand what's going on, and tell me, Dick, I need to know. This is to have what long-term ramifications? You're not doing this just for a weekend press. I mean, you're going to get a lot of press, but it's to have what effect?
The major effect that my clients are looking for is to maintain the bright line of division between church and state. And I want to go back to a point that you mentioned in passing before the break. And then I'm going to come back up to this and talk about how that applies to this case and to the Constitution, both federal and state. So here, let me explain. You were talking about the complexity of law. And there was a short story that was made by Dr. Michael Shermer, who's the founder of the Skeptic Society and Skeptic Magazine. And he said he and 3 friends decided to have a bicycle race from one coast to the other. And they did. Not a problem. Then a couple of years later, they were doing it again, and more people wanted to join them. Well, pretty soon, one person was holding on to a car and not pumping. And then after that, they found people who were jumping into private swimming pools and things like that en route. None of these were even thought of by the original 4 people who did their bicycling. And so they started to make more rules. And pretty much that's how society has been, is that originally, when we were smaller, we didn't need as many rules as we need now. We need to make more and more fine rules as we have a larger population, and we find that there are a bunch of people who are going to cheat. And that's what brings us to the lawsuit. The Constitution, both the federal and the state, both are very explicit that you have to have a separation of church and state. As people try to cheat, that is, bring government into the sphere that religion should dominate and bring religion into the sphere of government so that we have the two mixing together more into a theocracy, that is exactly what both constitutions were trying to stop. The federal one, for example, the founders of the United States Constitution were so concerned that religion would have in any way an influence on people that they prescribed only one oath in the U.S. Constitution. That's the oath for president, and it specifically does not have any reference to God or religion. Very important point. In the 1700s, 1791, we were a very young country at that point, the Treaty of Tripoli, since we're talking about Libya today and things.
To the shores of Tripoli we go.
Yes, well, it's part of the Marine hymn song, and it was also part of a treaty, and in that treaty it said, because we were trying to make peace at that time, unlike today's world, we were trying to say, look, this is not a Christian country. Anybody who argues that has lost that argument back in 1791. Move forward a bit to the Arizona Constitution, which was done in 1912. And in Article 20, and this is cited in the complaint, by the way. If anybody wants to go read the complaint, it's easy to find. Go to www.noprayday.com, and you can download the complaint.
noprayday.com.
And go to case status, and you can download it today. Now, in the Arizona Constitution, it says no one can be molested by reason of religion. Well, molesting in 1912 doesn't mean what it means today. In 1912, it means bothered, bewildered, approached, all that sort of thing. More like molest means in Spanish than it means in English today. Today it means that you're a priest.
I was going to say that.
Now, we have in studio, just walked in, we have Marc Victor and one of the plaintiffs, Mike Wasden. Now, let's go ahead and go to Mike. I want to get, have his comments that you keep to yourself until directed, okay? So, all right, go ahead. Now, Mike, why are you part of this? What's going on?
It's a freedom issue to me, Ernie. Plain and simple.
Are we done? Now we can go to Mark?
What else would you like to know?
Well, you're part of this lawsuit. You're going, I'm so strongly motivated by the governor declaring a state day of prayer that you know what, put me on the suit. And I'm hoping that my participation in this is going to result in what and why.
Well, I'm hoping that it results in this being shot down, of course. This proclamation that she's making, I'm hoping it results in it being shot down, and that it would serve in the future for things like this not to be brought about again.
And you feel threatened because of what? Is it a baby step, a big giant step, a progression towards what?
It's always a baby step. It's always the opening the door to allow government to do more later. If we allow them to do this, what's next? Like Mark mentioned earlier, we're going to have a proclamation that we should have a hygiene day where we should all brush our teeth and take a shower.
Muhammad Ali Brush Your Teeth Day.
Exactly.
That was a big thing. He asked him, what message do you have for the youth? You're a celebrity. You're big. This is in the 60s. I remember him they put the camera in his face and he goes, kids, you should brush your teeth. And I'm like, right on, man. That's, at least he had something worthwhile saying. It's like a Charles Barkley thing. I am not your role model. You can brush your teeth. Okay, let's go to Mark. Okay, Mark just came now. They were gone. They were going to be here at the top of the show. But, this already caught some interest. Where you been, man?
Well, we've been sort of making the rounds with the press. Fortunately for us, we were invited on the Jim Sharp Show, which is a local radio station here, KFYI, 550 AM, and Jim Sharp, I think, treated us with respect. We put out the position, which is really, this is lots of different reasons why we're bringing this. One is, it is a violation of the Establishment Clause. It is a violation of the Arizona Constitution, but there's a much greater freedom issue here. It's a freedom thing. We would be just as aggressively suing the governor if the governor was to come out and proclaim a day of no prayer. I mean, at the end of the day, who the heck is the government to tell us what to do? Whether we do it or not is not the issue, and that's what Mike was saying here. If the governor came out and said, look, it's a state day of hygiene and we want you to brush your teeth, my response to that is, look, I'm an American. The government doesn't exist to tell me what to do. I don't want messages.
It's not forcing you. It's just a suggestion from the all-beloved and all-knowing Jan Brewer.
Well, in this particular area, it's a little bit different than the brushing the teeth thing, which would bother me. That's sort of the policy behind this. In the area of religion, Dick is right. This is an area that is much it's much wiser to have a very strong separation between church and state, because some people pray and some people don't, and it's none of anybody's business, and it's certainly not the role of the government to go out and promote prayer for people, whether they pray or not. And I want to just say, too, this is not an atheist issue. It's a freedom issue, and we intend to add plaintiffs to this case. Jim Sharp told me today he prays every single day. He's a Christian. He wants in on this lawsuit. We're going to modify the suit, bring him in. I'm expecting... And Ernie, I'm just getting started. We're going to add a Muslim to this case. We're going to add a Mormon to this case. This is not about atheism. It's about the government out of control.
Nobody asked me. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence in just a little bit. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.